Hello and welcome to another Blu-ray update video, this time for August of 2020. I'm going to be talking about films that I have bought on Blu-ray from three icons of cinema, three towering pillars of movie history. One is the great Stoneface, one of the great comedians and stars of the silent era. Another is, in my opinion, the greatest martial artist in film history. And finally, last but not least, a giant turtle from Japan. Okay, maybe two icons of cinema, maybe two towering pillars of movie history, and also a giant turtle from Japan. So first up, from the massive cinema range, which I was considering leaving this till the next one, but I like the way that this flows with Buster Keaton in this collection, and next Jackie Chan, because I think that Buster and Jackie are very similar in a lot of ways, and Jackie Chan was a huge fan of Buster Keaton and took great inspiration from him, so it seemed appropriate to team up Buster and Jackie and that big giant turtle from Japan in the same video for some reason. So first up we have the Buster Keaton collection here from Eureka, which just came out this week. It's just called Buster Keaton in Go West, Our Hospitality and College. On Amazon, I'm not sure if it's on the Eureka website, it's just called but the Buster Keaton Volume 3, I think, because there's been 3 volumes. Do I have them anywhere at hand, the Buster Keaton sets? I don't. Where are they? That's interesting. Oh, they're down on the floor. I should probably get them just to show you. That would make a little bit of sense, I think. One of them? No, where's the other one? I don't know. This is not a good thing to keep in the video, but yet here I am still trying to figure out where the other one is. I'll find it and come back. It was down by my legs the whole time. So, one thing is, I'm not sure if this... Okay, they kind of match up. I don't like how these 3 volumes don't quite sit well together. So we have the first one. I don't know when this came out. I think this was 2018 this one came out, I think. So this is Sherlock Jr., the General, and Steamboat Bill Jr. The next one was The Navigator, 7 Chances, and Battling Butler. And then obviously we have the new one. So this now collects 9 of his films. And I think that's pretty much it. Obviously, there's the Cameraman that Criterion just released. I think the only thing Eureka could possibly release after that would be the Saphead, which isn't really essential, I don't think. So really, like, Eureka now have released his most... I can't think of the term. His best films. I was going to say, trying to think of a phrase, but it just eluded me. I'll leave all this in for free as usual. But yeah, I love how it just doesn't quite, these two go quite nicely together. But yeah, anyway, it is what it is. Do we have the same font? We have the same font for the first and second one, but the third one just goes in a completely different direction. So yeah, that's a bit of a weird one. And we have kind of 2 very cartoony images on these 2, and then just his face on that one. But anyway, it is what it is. It's nice to have all these films. I do have all the Kino editions, but these are all from the 4K restorations that have taken place over the past few years. Now, let's just talk about the one at hand here, which is this one. So the films themselves are Go West. A really, really nice film. I've seen all of his films before. I really love the relationship with the cow that he has, and there's probably one of the most iconic Buster Keaton moments in Go West, which is when he's playing poker, and they're trying to make him smile, and he just goes, because the whole joke is that he never smiled in his movies, and so it's kind of a self-referential joke. I think it's one of the shorter ones he did. I'm not sure if the running time was on the back here, but Go West, from memory, is a fairly short little film, but it's really sweet. I really enjoy Go West. It's quite fun. And then we have College from 1927, which is a good film. It's probably... I think of all 9 of these films, yeah, I'd say it's probably my least favorite. But there's some good stuff in it. I quite like College. It's pretty good. And then Our Hospitality, which is, I think, his best movie. I think it's so underrated. I think it's the best story in one of his films. It actually has something to say. That Our Hospitality... Actually, I think Our Hospitality has a similar story to The Last of Us Part 2 in a really weird way. It's really about the cycle of violence and revenge, and it's got a really good backstory to it. And then obviously you have all the kind of hallmarks of the Keaton kind of toolbox with all the gags and everything. And there are some great ones. I mean, the whole waterfall sequence at the end is incredible, and there's a lot of humor about the whole Our Hospitality thing and how he goes to this he goes to the house of this girl that he likes, but it's the family that his family have been feuding with for generations, and so they just want to kill him. But because of the whole kind of hospitality thing and everything, if he's in their house, they can't really lay a finger on him just because of tradition. And so he's trying to stay inside the house so they can't get him. It's a lot of fun, and this is the case from the inside. This is stacked with special features, and we have 3 discs, 1 for each film, so they've really, they're giving each film its due in that sense. But what really made me happy about this one, because I literally was saying a few days before this was announced, it was leaked on Amazon, there was going to be Buster Keaton Volume 3, and so we were all on the Blu-ray forums wondering which 3 films would it be, and I very quickly deduced that it would have to be Go West, Our Hospitality, and College. I didn't see the Saphead working into it, and then Spite Marriage and The Cameraman were tied up with Criterion, so it just seemed like the only 3 options. But then I said on the forum that I would love to see a release of, on disc, The Railrodder and Buster Rides Again. And they announced this set and announced that along with those 3 films, this set would also include in the special features The Railrodder and Buster Keaton Rides Again. So these are 2 films from 1965. The first one, The Railrodder, is and this is a really nice booklet, as you would expect. I flicked through it, it's just gorgeous, and they've really done a phenomenal job with these releases, I have to say. And I do quite like the thinner hard box release, even though it's just 1 case. I'd love it to feel a bit more deluxe and have like a big box set with 3 cases for each film. Hell, if it was me, I'd have 4 cases to house The Railrodder and Buster Rides Again. But yeah, so The Railrodder, 1965, one of his final films. And it's I think it's kind of a tourist board commissioned movie for Canada, and it follows Buster as he's like on this little, I think it's called a railrodder, or if he's the railrodder, but it's this little kind of like car thing that sits on the train tracks, and so he sits in this little yellow thing and he whizzes around Canada and sees all these sights, and it's a silent film basically. It's there's a score and maybe some sound effects, but it's for all intents and purposes no dialogue. And a very old Buster Keaton returning to what he does best, and it is wonderful. Just a fantastic 20-minute film. But even better than that is the hour-long documentary on the making of the film, which is oddly in black and white, which is really interesting because you'd expect it to be the other way around. And you get to see Buster, not necessarily in action, but you get to see Buster the man, kind of fiddling around with guitar, on set, and kind of talking about movie stars to the director. And there's a great moment when he wants to do this shot where he's on the little cab as it goes along the tracks, and he's got to pull out this big map and get tangled in it basically. And they don't want him to do it because he's old and they're afraid he's going to hurt himself. And he's beside himself. He's just like, I could do that with my eyes closed. He's really mad about it. He's just like, he has such commitment to his craft and such belief in himself that he's really offended that they don't want him to risk, and you just think about the fact, all the things that he's done, in his life and his career, and the injuries he sustained, and the crazy stunts he did in his movies, doing them all himself. Someone saying we don't need to do it, then you can understand why he was a little bit peeved off by that. But they're both presented on this, but I think they're in standard definition, which is the one thing I was really hoping that it'd be nice HD transfers. Someone on the forum has said that it looks HD to them, and I honestly don't know. They still look good, though. They do look good, I will say that, but they look a little bit soft. And I just feel like, all these films have 4K restorations, 2K restorations, the Buster Keaton mainline films from the 20s. They get the kind of respect and kind of care and restoration that they deserve, but I feel like those 2 films are kind of like his swan song, and I think they deserve just as much respect and care in restoring them. I think it'd be great to see those films properly done and remastered on Blu-ray, but it's great to have them on disc either way. And this one has so many special features. There's a new audio commentary on College. There's the shorter cut of Our Hospitality, which is on the Kino Blu-ray, and that one also has a new optional commentary. from film historian Polly Rose. A video essay, 26 minutes long. Another new audio commentary for Go West. New video essay again on the filming locations for Go West. I'm quite intrigued by that one because that's mainly like out in the kind of the desert in a way. So I'd be intrigued to see what that looks like, in more recent years. And another thing that's really great about the extras is that the Railrodder and Buster Keaton Rides Again both have audio commentaries that were recorded during the 2018 Buster Keaton convention. There's the Buster Keaton Fan Society, which actually gets like a shout out in the booklet, which is probably why they've licensed the audio material, and it's an audio commentary from the director of the Railrodder, Gerald Potterton, and the cameraman as well. So they kind of do a Q&A over the documentary, and they do a commentary over the actual film itself. So I think that's about it. There's some stills galleries as well, and a 60-page book. So this is just phenomenal stacked release. Buster Keaton, you just can't go wrong. You really can't go wrong. Now, next up we have Jackie Chan in 2 new releases from 88 Films, and I have to say they're destroying it. The 88 Films are absolutely killing it with Jackie Chan releases. So we have the 2 new ones that came out this month, The Fearless Hyena. I'm not sure if this is the one. Yes, this is the first film Jackie directed himself. This is from the 70s, I believe. 1979, the first film Jackie directed. So it's huge from a historical perspective, in my opinion, just based on that fact. Because, like Buster, Jackie eventually directed his own movies, and I think it really shows in his classics from the 80s. So this is the first time he took a crack at directing movies himself. And then we have Dragon Lord. Now, this is kind of a nice glossy slipcover with amazing artwork, by the way. Just stunning. And they've got what's his name, Kung Fu Bob O'Brien to do the my voice broke there, Kung Fu Bob O'Brien to do the artwork for their more recent releases, I think starting from Dragons Forever, and he's just been destroying it, like holy shit. But this one has got like a nice matte finish to it. I prefer the feel of this slipcover. It's just fantastic, really, really nice. And so this one is from 1982, and I've heard that no, I've seen, in fact, I've seen like a top 10 Jackie Chan fights, and this is like near the top. It was James Rolfe from Cinemassacre who did one this must be like 10, 12, 13 years ago. But I've seen clips of the final fight from this film. Apparently it's like a 10-minute extravaganza. The clips look insane, so I'm really looking forward to checking out the final fight in this, and the film itself, of course. And these, they don't just look pretty. We had the new 2K restorations, 2 cuts of the film from the original 35mm negatives. Leave that one in for free. 96-minute Hong Kong theatrical cut, which is Jackie's final approved edit of the film, which is interesting. He directed this one as well. So 1982. This is when he started to settle into making his own movies. So what's the other one? 103 minutes. So there's a difference of 7 minutes. A work-in-progress cut, an earlier cut of the film released in limited territories, featuring approximately 15 minutes of exclusive, extended, and alternate footage. Interesting. And then all the different audio options, export dubs, alternate home release Cantonese mix, 2003 English mix, newly improved subtitles, all sorts of, they've really gone in-depth, and that is even before the extras start. There's a trailer, there's interviews, behind the scenes, and all sorts of stuff. And there's even a reversible sleeve with the original Hong Kong artwork. As for The Fearless Hyena, which I've seen their new restoration trailer for, looks really good. I think Graham at Man v Film watched this and said it was great. Another 2K restoration. Not as many extras on this one, but that's okay. So there's a booklet in this. I'm not sure if there's a booklet in this one. Sometimes they have booklets, sometimes they don't, but that's fine. Audio commentary, there's trailers, Japanese TV commercial. Again, not too many on this one, but they look gorgeous, and it's the films that really count. And so we have different colors now to add to the 88 Films Jackie Chan collection. I look forward to checking these ones out very much indeed, and they're rolling forward. I think they're releasing The Young Master in December. They're doing an amazing job, 88 Films, with Jackie Chan's filmography. Before we get to the big one, and it really is a big one, I have another thing that came through the post. Actually, I have 2 things. Should I go and grab that? I'll go grab that. Give me a second. I don't know why I said give me a second when I was going to just cut that anyway. I don't know. Force of habit and knowing that it would take me a second. Hey, whatever, what am I talking about? Let's just get on with this. So this turned up, eventually. Yeah, the old Star Wars Steelbook. I'm going to make a separate video about this for my Star Wars Forever series because I have a lot to say about this Steelbook and the whole range of Steelbooks that Xavier released. The shit show of the Star Wars Steelbooks, both in terms of the ones that turned up damaged and scuffed and haven't arrived for certain people, and then just the artwork choice, which apparently stems back to Disney. This is a stunning Steelbook. So happy with this for the most part. My original order didn't turn up at all. It took about a month for them to finally send me a replacement. At least they had one. And the reason I wanted this, it is a 4K Steelbook. The reason I wanted this is because this is the artwork that was on the original VHS tape that I grew up with. And so I just adore this artwork. It's so special to me, and to see it in a nice Steelbook like this is great. I don't love the new modern Star Wars logo there that they have for all of them, but it just looks phenomenal, just absolutely stunning. And you got R2 and 3PO on the back there. There's some nice internal artwork, but what really bugs me is we have the classic age-old spine slash. Yeah, so whoever opened this Blu-ray, just the box of Blu-rays, just sliced all the spines up. So there's just this big groove in the middle. So I think I'm actually going to frame this one. I have a Steelbook frame down here, which I put a Steelbook in. I've never displayed it, so maybe I'll get around to actually. This is covered in dust actually because it's been here for so long. But I put Akira in there, which is a really nice display piece, I think. Hard to get glare without all the lights everywhere, but yeah. Anyway, so I think I might put the Star Wars Steelbook in here and not worry about the spine slash per se. But yeah, absolutely stunning artwork. It is the 4K release. I'm not crazy about getting the 4K releases because they are the special editions, but at the same time, it's Star Wars. And I was going to get the original trilogy, but the Empire Strikes Back Steelbook artwork was just awful. I know it's an original poster, but it was just awful. And so they've released all 9 films with all multiple character posters, and then Empire's just Vader's floating head in space. It just looks shit. So I didn't get that. And now they've announced that these are coming out in just regular editions in 4K, so I'm probably just going to get Empire and Jedi separately in regular releases. But it's a very nice Steelbook. And that's about that. There is another 4K Steelbook I picked up that I just had to get as soon as I saw it. It is a film I really, really like. I'm really excited about revisiting this one in 4K, and just in general, actually. This is a gorgeous Steelbook, and it is The Fifth Element. Just fantastic artwork. I really love this. Bit of complaints about the artwork on this one on the forums. People saying that the contrasting colors should be brightened up, but I think it looks great as it is. Really, really nice, and this is just a really fun sci-fi film from Luc Besson, who I really love, actually. I mean, you think of films like Leon, but also Lucy I was a huge fan of, and Valerian I love. And I love the very subtle art on the back there, the 4 elements, and just the starry background is really nice. You know, there's some Steelbooks that will have a logo or something on the back, and it'll just be plain, but this has it fades in nicely. You get the kind of the galaxy effect, and it just fades very nicely all around the kind of the front and back and the spine. Really cool. Inside, I think we have we have the multi-pass, which is really funny, but I've never owned this film on Blu-ray, so it was a good chance to I can't even get the disc out. I'll just show you one side of it. Multi-pass, classic. But yeah, it's been many years since I've revisited this one, and I'm looking forward to seeing it in 4K to see how some of the effects hold up. I'm not too sure about that one. It can be hit or miss with 4K, but yeah, really nice Steelbook. Love Fifth Element. And that's about it for those, because we move on now to another outrageously ill-advised, poorly thought out, bank-breaking blind buy. I'm just kidding. I can afford it for sure. Why I decided to buy it, I really do not know. It's the collector in me, I guess. This is one of those things that it's a big box set, and if I don't like the films, then I can sell it on for the price that I paid for it to a collector who's probably going to be very happy, because at one point this is going to go out of print, I know it, and but you know, hopefully I'll really enjoy them and want to keep it because it is a gorgeous piece. Now, you saw me get the Godzilla set recently, and in fact I've even put this in the background of my most recent videos just to tease you a little bit. It is the Arrow Video Mammoth Box Set, Gamera, the complete collection. Oh, it's so nice when it's like a matte artwork on the Blu-ray. I don't have to worry about the glare too much, but yeah, this is just, it's a heavy one, it's a beast. And we have the spine there, the back, there was a backing card, and then the inside is just, yeah, this is so much more impressive than the Godzilla set presentation-wise. Amazing artwork, just stunning. I think that the font on here feels very cheap. The Gamera edit feels like very hokey. I don't know. Even the titles on the spine feels a little bit cheap. Especially like the colors. It seems like something someone starting out in Photoshop would do, like cold blue and fiery red and yellow. But this has, oh shit, I don't have the backing card. The backing card has the backing CAD from Cardiff. It has all the information. Oh, this should have something on the inside, but let's just open this up a little bit. I'll put this here. Will that go there? Yes, it will. It's probably out of, no, that's fairly nicely shot actually. Okay, so where to even begin with this one? So, first of all, we have the booklet for the box set. Oh, incredible. Absolutely. Oh, it's just stunning. It's just incredible. As an art piece, I love it. So this has information about the transfers, the production credits, all sorts of stuff, like original posters and things, and notes on the movies, a guide to the English language versions that are presented on all the, I think there's 8 discs and 12 movies, maybe? Not entirely sure. There's lots of essays about the movies themselves and guides to the movies. There's an interview in here with the director of Gamera. And yeah, and then here's where we have like, you know, original posters and kind of cast listings, all that kind of stuff. Oh man, some really cool posters in here, and the big booklet size really just lends itself well to including these big posters. Yeah, oh, just it's got a lovely new booklet smell as well. Oh, it even has one of those like English language versions where they've kind of I guess put an English cast into some of the footage. Gamera the Invincible. Anyway, so there's that. That's stunning. Where can I put that down here? Then we have the comics collection, which is a hardcover, and it has these 5 comics inside. Just stunning, you know. Again, even the inside like inlay is just brilliant. And yeah, again, I have no illusions to these movies being fantastic or anything, but it's you know, it is what it is. These like kind of old hokey monster movies, but there's a charm to that, I think, and I don't know. I'm intrigued. What can I say? But just the presentation of this alone is something that's really just great. It really is. To fans of these movies, this box set must be incredible. It really must be. Yeah, so a huge comic collection there that I'll definitely read at some point. And then we have the movies and another kind of hardcover. Okay, I guess I could criticize this. The back cover of this is exactly the same as the back of the box set. They could have maybe done something a little bit different there, but I mean, they've loaded this with so many amazing pieces of artwork. In fact, it's the same on the front as well. Okay. Hey, it's the art so nice that they included it twice. But with this one, you get it without the text, which is kind of nice. So you get like a nice clean image of... yeah, so this is the complete collection, so I believe there weren't that many Gamera movies altogether. Oh, that's a shame. It doesn't... I forgot that it doesn't have the... I guess the discs tell you which films are on which disc. So you have these wallet holders here, and I will say... Oh, interesting. Okay, so when I pick it up, I can feel the discs rattling around, and they're not entirely safe, or that they don't stay in place. They kind of jiggle around quite easily inside, which is a little bit of a design flaw. I think it should be more snug. Even though I don't love the packaging like this, but it suits it well with the book style packaging and everything. Yeah, just amazing artwork, just jaw-dropping, mouth-watering, fantastic. So the films we have, I can just look on the side of the box actually, and I have looked at the special features, so from memory I can probably tell you some of the stuff. So we have Gamera, the giant monster, which is I guess the original. Gamera versus Barugon. This is where I'm going to mess up all the names of these classic monsters, and people are going to be really mad in the comments. Gamera versus Geos. Gamera versus Virus. Gamera versus Gyron. Gamera versus Yiga. Gamera versus Zegra. Gamera Super Monster. Then we have the Heisei trilogy, I believe, which is the three films people really big up as great movies, which is Gamera, the Guardian of the Universe, Gamera 2, Attack of Legion, and Gamera 3, Revenge of Iris. And then finally, Gamera the Brave. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes, I think it's 12 movies, 8 discs. And unlike the Godzilla set, it's loaded with special features. There's so many special features, I think, for every film. Audio commentaries, obviously all in high definition. I think the Heisei trilogy, if I'm saying that right, are all from 4K restorations. There's a multi-part feature-length documentary on the making of that trilogy. There's tons of interviews with the people who made these films, from special effects supervisors to directors and so on. They've just packed it with stuff. That also really sold me, because this cost a little bit less than the Godzilla set, but the whole package just felt so much more impressive in terms of maybe not the artwork. I prefer the artwork on the Godzilla set because that's just stunning and so classy, but it's still great artwork. But you get a huge box and it just feels a lot more weighty and substantial for the money. I don't know. And just to have like the comics and everything, and the there's a big poster inside here as well, which is really cool. I'm going to put the rest back in later actually. So yeah, Gamera. We'll see what I think. I have something in mind that I might cook up for this with some of these movies, but we'll see what happens. Mine did arrive slightly bent. There's a little indentation on this side, so it bends in here, unfortunately. But you can barely see it. In fact, I don't think you can really even see it at all on camera. But yeah, it does slightly bend in. But yeah, that's fine. It really is. Try and let go of those things. That is it. This felt like a really shit one. I don't know. I didn't feel on form when talking about them for some reason. Maybe that's just me. Is there a way to be on form with these kinds of videos? You basically just talk about the shit you buy. There's nothing special about it. But I know I felt a bit off with this one, so apologies if it came across that way. Otherwise, stay tuned for part 2, in which I'll be talking about many Masters of Cinema titles. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Leave me your thoughts down below on the Gamera movies if you have any. I would say recommend me which ones to watch, but I'm probably just going to go chronologically with those movies. If you've seen The Fearless Hyena and Dragon Lord, what did you think of them? Are you enjoying the Buster Keaton set? I've seen a lot of people have been getting that one. Did you get any of the Star Wars Steelbooks? And yeah, so anyway, that's about it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you mercifully in the next one.
It's alright by me. Apart from the fact he throws cans and calling into a tree. Yeah, he's really cool. Yeah, he's really cool. But he's not quite as cool as you.